reduce rational expressions, reduce rational expressions. Again, so to reduce fractions, we divide out the common factors. We are going to do the same thing with the rational expressions. This means that we first must get these in a factored form. So we have to factor. We're going to put all that factoring you've learned put to use. So let's take a look at example 1. Factor the top. I'm going to put in my 2 sets of parentheses. There's only one way of factoring 2, so I have 2x and x. There's only one way of factoring 3. Now I happen to notice here that we have a 5 here, and since there's only one way of factoring 3 and we are going to be subtracting, I'm going to put my 3 in my last box and my 1 in my first box. So that's going to give me 6x minus x, and it looks like we're going to have plus in our last box and a negative in our first one because we want a positive 5x. Okay, so I'm going to erase my check, draw my line. Now I'm going to factor my denominator here. Alright, only one way of factoring 2x squared. And there's only one way of factoring 2. I cannot put 2 in the same box as my other 2, so it has to go there. We are adding our factors here. So we've got 4x plus x, which is going to give me 5x. We need it to be negative, so both those signs are going to be negative. So I have factored both my polynomials. I'm now ready to reduce. I'm going to divide out the common factors, meaning I'm just going to cross off anything that's in common. 2x minus 1 is in common, so those go, leaving me with just x plus 3 over x minus 2. You might be tempted to cross off the x's, but you have to remember the x's are not factors, they are terms. We cannot cross off terms, we can only cross off factors. Let's take a look at example 2. I'll put my 2 sets of parentheses in. 9 I think of as 3x and 3x. 25 I think is 5 and 5. Looks like it's a perfect square trinomial. If you remember that, we've got 15 plus 15 we are adding. And 15x and 15x do give me 30. We want a negative, so that means our signs both need to be negative. Okay, so the numerator is factored. Draw my line. I'm going to factor my denominator. Put my 2 sets of parentheses. You may have noticed that the denominator is a difference of squares. That means we're going to take the square root of 9, which is 3x. Put that in. The square root of 25. Put that in. Plus in one, minus in the other. Now that they're factored, I'm going to cross off the factors that are alike. So we cross off the 3x minus 5. 3x minus 5 and 3x plus 5 are not the same, so that is my answer.